So let's talk about what happens inside of your ear when you lose your hearing. So there are several different types of hearing loss that can have an impact on your hearing in different ways. The first type is something called a conductive type of hearing loss. And what that means is that there is something blocking the conduction of sound as it travels from your outer ear to your middle ear and then to your inner ear. So it's losing power along the way because of some reason. That could be you have impacted earwax in the ear. You could have a hole in the eardrum. There could be fluid back behind the ear. And basically all that's doing is it's preventing that volume from getting down into the cochlea or your organ of hearing, and it creates this kind of false type of hearing loss. Oftentimes a conductive loss can be treated medically by an ear, nose, and throat doctor, which we can help set up referrals for. The second type of hearing loss is what we call a sensorineural type of hearing loss. Now this loss takes place at the level of the organ of hearing. So inside of the cochlea, you have thousands and thousands of tiny little hair cells, and those hair cells are floating around in the fluid inside the cochlea. Now, over time, with aging, genetics, noise exposure, all kinds of different things, those hair cells tend to just weaken or they get lazy and they don't float or move like they're supposed to. And in turn, there is a breakdown in that signal as it travels from the cochlea up the auditory nerve to the brain. So that's where we call it the sensorineural hearing loss. This type of hearing loss is more of a permanent type of loss, so that's where we talk about treating it with prescriptive hearing devices, going over your options, and just really help you keep the brain nice and strong so we don't have any kind of cognitive decline and dementia in our future. And the third type of loss is what we call a mixed hearing loss. So this is a combination of a conductive hearing loss and a sensorineural hearing loss. So you could have true permanent damage to the organ of hearing, but you could also have fluid in the ear. One needs to be treated medically, the other needs to be treated with hearing devices. So that's really what's happening at the level of your ear when we talk about hearing impairment.